All right, that's Sean Hopkins on the stand. He is the school counselor. We still have with us defense attorney Safa Robinson-Farah and trial attorney Lateef Gray. Lateef, this is for you. I'm listening to this testimony, and he's basically saying, look, I know the child was sad. We sent him back to class, or I felt as though it was okay to send him back and that he wasn't going to be a harm to himself or a harm to others. Do you think that's hurting? I do, actually, the prosecution's case.
Well, it could hurt the prosecution's case because it's showing that a trained professional evaluated this young man on the morning of the shooting and determined that he wasn't much of a danger, or at least dangerous enough that he needed to be sent home. So I think this part is hurting the prosecution's case. But given the overall state of the evidence and the fact that there was a shooting and 4 people were killed, I don't think it'll be that harmful to the case.
Exactly. And don't forget, the parents know more than this counselor knows. The counselor isn't aware of the gun. And so I think he really wasn't in a position. I think the prosecution is going to try to demonstrate that. All right, that's the Dean of Students on the stand. I have Safa Robinson-Farah here and also trial attorney Lateef Gray. Lateef, this is a delicate balance, I think, that the prosecution has to make here in this case. On the one hand, this is a mental illness issue. On the other hand, maybe discipline. What is he trying to show here? How the school responded? It seems to me he's trying to show the school responded correctly, but the parents did not.
Well, I think he's trying to say that the school responded correctly and the parents did not. But I think what he's showing is that although there were concerns about this kid's mental health issues in the days leading up to the shooting, the trained professionals at the school who are mandatory reporters, didn't see fit to report this conduct. So if the mandatory reporters didn't see fit to report it, then the parents probably couldn't have done much from the defense's perspective to prevent this from happening in the days leading up to the shooting. So I think it's going twofold. Number one, it shows that the school tried to do what they needed to do. But I think it's also showing from the defense's perspective that the parents were just following the lead of the school. So I think it's twofold.
Exactly. And I think that is part of the defense's argument. Look, the school did not think that it was that urgent. We didn't think it was that urgent. We said we'd get help. But, you know, we all know what the consequences were. All right, we have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere as we continue our trial coverage in the case of James Crumbley out in Michigan. When we return, we'll be right back. All right, with me to break this down, we still have criminal defense attorney Safa Robinson-Farah and attorney Lateef Gray. Now, Lateef, we're going to ask you a question I hope you know the answer to. I think this issue regarding the argument is a big issue. Do you think that that helps the defense here, or it helps the prosecution? Should the parents have been more on guard knowing that something is going on with the student as far as his grades are concerned?
Well, I think it can work either way, because what we have here is that this young man apparently had no red flags up until the days leading up to this incident, meaning he hadn't missed a lot of time in school. He had no behavioral issues. And so from the parents' perspective, once the red flag issues were raised, the parents came in and addressed them just as any parents would, any loving, caring parents would. So the argument might be a big deal, but I think the evidence that is being presented is showing that the parents were doing what the school asked of them to do. So it could work either way.
Right. I think it can go either way there. All right, Lateef Gray, thank you very much for joining us. We want to hope to see you soon. And as for everyone else, we have to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll fill you in on a brand new trial out of Polk County, Florida, when we return. You are actually watching Law and Crime. Stay tuned with us.